Alright guys, the button is pushed. The live icon has lit up. I have no idea if this is working, which is what I say before every stream. But, yes, welcome back to another stream on Makers Muse. This one was completely unplanned, completely unscheduled, well except for like the half-hour warning I gave you, which is not clearly enough. It's like really late there over in the States, so thank you for watching if it's like past your bedtime. And I'll be reading the chat and interrupting myself, so I do apologize if you're watching this after it's been recorded live. It's going to be a little bit chaotic, as is my entire studio, because there's just stuff absolutely everywhere. So, oh, I've made it unlisted. I'm so clever. Sorry, guys. How did I manage that? How did I manage to make my thing unlisted? Can I even change it? There we go. Publish! Oh dear. If you're in the chat, say hi. I'm so clever. Great. Well, I'm just going to chill for a little bit till people come in, because I was clever enough to make an unlisted stream. Well, I haven't done something that silly for a long time. Hope your day's been good. Your Wednesday evening. Hey, Dragon Boy 22, thank you for jumping in. So, guys, I made this unlisted by accident. Sorry. Yeah. So, thank you for jumping in. I'm going to just go over what I just said, because I'm super stupid. This was not planned. This was not pre-organized. I just came home. I've been in Sydney. I came back to the studio to this box, and this box, if what's in it is what I think is in it, then it's pretty important to the history of this YouTube channel. It might be something completely different though, because like I get stuff sent to me from suppliers all the time that I don't get any warning, it just shows up, and yeah, I don't know half the time what it is. And as I said before, when this feels unlisted, this is going to go up after the stream, and I do apologize if you're watching it live, because it's going to be chaotic. Yeah, and good morning to Garrett, and Rob saying he's about to go to bed but needs to know what's in the box. So yeah, let's find out what's in the box. So, as some of you may know, I've been doing YouTube for quite a while, since basically the channel was started in 2013, and 2014 was when I really started making content for it properly. And my first big break was in October of 2014. I did a video on ripping files from Chivalry Medieval Warfare that got picked up by Hackaday and got really, lots of views, bumped up quite a bit. And that was like my first big break into YouTube, but I've been doing it for quite some time, and this thing kind of has something to do with all of that YouTubing. I think let's find out. So, question is, how do we open it? I didn't really plan this through very well. Let's crack it down there, and there. Just using my keyboard casually as a table. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what it is. It did say Makers Muse and YouTube on the box. That is cool. Alright. So if anyone wanted to know where YouTube play buttons are made from, there's actually a really cool guy that does videos. He's from China. He's in China, and he makes videos about Chinese life, and he actually went to the YouTube factory, the factory they make play buttons, and they wouldn't let him in. But yeah, if you want to know where the YouTube play buttons come from, that's where they come from. Alright, so here it is. Oh, it's got that vacuum seal. Right, we've got a note. Everyone knows about the YouTube note. You've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. I have to admit, quite a few people have accomplished this now, but anyway, you've had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. Awesome. Huge thanks to you guys for subscribing and being here supporting Makers Muse. Actually, I got the 100k mark when I was at the Matter Hackers meetup before we all traveled to the Bay Area Maker Fair, and I was actually live streaming it there at the meetup. You guys like were unsubscribing and stuff. We were watching it live. It was going up and down and up and down. Hey, we've got Dustin. I was just watching your stream, dude. I just got back in the studio and this thing showed up when I wasn't here. So, yeah. So basically, I got the 100k when I was with Dustin and Joel and those guys at the Matter Hackers meetup in May. So now, what is it up to? It's up to 180,000. 190,000 subscribers, so it's a little bit late. Anyway. There we go. I hope I spelt Makers Muse right. That is cool. So it says, Makers Muse, congratulations on surpassing 100,000 subscribers. Aw, thank you so much to you guys. You are awesome for making this possible. Duh. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. But yeah, like, this wouldn't exist without your support. Like, I make YouTube videos to empower creativity, and I will continue to make YouTube videos to empower creativity. And YouTube's doing its very best lately to, completely throw the whole community into chaos with demonetization that doesn't make sense, and, complete the random enforcement of rules and that sort of thing. But I've managed to make it work as my full-time job here in Australia, which is nuts. I can basically do what I love doing as a job, and it's all thanks to you guys who support the channel. Jackson in the chat, here for the perfect moment. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, so it's from Susan Wojcicki. Yes, that one. Yes, I won't bother reading the note. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And basically, as I said, this couldn't exist without you guys. I'm going to be reading the chat to see if you have any questions or anything. I got a little bit of a celebratory drink. Today also marks a milestone. I did my first BAS, which is paying GST in Australia. I got that done. I paid the government lots of money. Well, not lots of money, but I paid the government money. But I'm adulting so hard right now. Makers Muse is a complete legitimate entity. I'm a sole trader and I pay taxes. It's nuts. But yeah, it's a little bit, no, not too big. I didn't end up printing one. Like, heaps of people actually ended up printing their own maker coins, their own play buttons. I didn't end up doing that, but I did get given one from Joel. He made like a bacon filament play button he gave me when I had 50k subscribers. Jetman's saying I see a purple box. Yes, as I said, this whole studio is completely chaotic, and the purple box is the Mosaic palette, and I'm really keen to try that out. In the car is the i3 Mark II with the multi-material upgrade. So I've got two different types of multi-material upgrades now, which is really, really cool to test out. And the Mosaic's resting on top of a machine which I'm putting together, which is the Flying Bear Tornado. It's another 3D printer, cool Tornado. It's not the one you may be familiar with though. It's a really big kit. It's a massive frame. It's got linear rails. It's pretty cool. So that's also on the floor. I've completely run out of room. Again, like, this is chaos. Complete chaos. Jackson's saying, you probably don't remember this, but one time I commented on your video and you replied. I always remembered and it makes me so happy. Oh, thank you, dude. I really do appreciate your comments. I don't get to reply to all of them, but I'm really happy that I got to yours that one time. Thank you so much for watching. JTTV, you've not paid taxes before. I have paid taxes before. I have not paid GST before. In Australia, we have different types of taxes. GST is goods and services tax, and you pay it, and then you also claim it back, and it's really stupid and complicated, and I have to do it now, and just... I learned things I didn't ever want to learn. I'm never becoming an accountant. I don't know how people do it as a job. It was the most nightmarish few days trying to do this stuff. Zorua is asking, I know you're pretty sick of questions about the CR10, but would you recommend buying one? There seems to be many negative reviews of GearBest. Well, yeah, GearBest as a company will not give you any support whatsoever. They're only interested in basically drop shipping the kit to you. So if owning a 3D printer, when you own a 3D printer, if getting support is important to you, buying a kit from China or the CR10, which is kind of a kit, it's almost ready to run, you're not going to get any support. So keep that in mind. People who expect support from GearBest, yeah, sorry, there is none. So you're not going to get any. But if you're okay with using the community, the CR10 Facebook group is fantastic, then yeah, it's a good machine for the price. Austin saying, oh my god, is it a Mark III? No, it's just a Prusa Mark IIs. The Mark IIIs are not available yet. They will be out in a few months' time. You can pre-order them now, but yeah, you can't get them yet. Robert, thank you so much for the $2. Thanks for the Fusion 360 tutorials. No worries. I have many more planned. I'm going to be doing one in the next week or so on sweep, on the sweep feature. Then we're going to be doing lofting, and then we're going to be doing all sorts of other features, Boolean operations, and then I might move into patch workflow. But yeah, we'll go through slowly. It is for beginners. Austin saying, I just found your channel earlier this week, but I've blown through about 20 vids already. Thank you for the content. No worries. Thank you so much for checking them out. Like, a big thing about YouTube is YouTube buries old content, so I try to make videos that are kind of evergreen, like videos that people can watch again in future and find them still valuable, which is partly why I'm moving away from reviews now. Like, the stuff you see behind me, like the Mosaic palette, I'm not reviewing the palette. I'm going to use it in projects. There's a big difference there, because the projects can be reviewed in future, and if, you know, the Mosaic changes, it's not such a big deal. If I do a review, like, it's the palette plus, not just the regular palette. Like, if I do a review and it's out of date, what's the point of the review? You know, it doesn't really help you. TiVo Tornado in question marks. No, Richard, it's not a TiVo Tornado. It is a Flying Bear Tornado. It's different, but it's still a tornado. You know, classic Chinese printer names. Yeah, so yeah, going back to someone asking about the Tornado, it's the Flying Bear Tornado. It's a kit. I thought it was ready to run, but it's a kit, because Flying Bear only makes kits apparently, and it is a massive 3D printer that I will be testing out in the near future. The handy outdoor nerd saying, I'll have to send you the sound of the broadcast alert system deal that you deal with. Yeah, no, I wasn't dealing with the emergency broadcast system. I was dealing with very boring numbers. Yeah, it's a bit of a surreal experience, I'll be honest. Like, you know, it's been kind of so long in the making that this thing doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like it's attached to my efforts growing this channel. It's, yeah. I don't even know where I'm going to put it. Like, I can't put stuff on the walls here because it's a rental. There's no room around the thing. There's nowhere to put it. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, so X9 saying the Flying Bear's dope. It has the dual extruders on linear rails. It can have that. They didn't have that specified when they sent it to me. So my machine from Flying Bear just has the dual inline extruders, like on the same block, but it doesn't have the independent ones. I don't think they had the software sorted for that, as far as I can tell. I did ask for it, but they didn't send it to me. Oh well. Austin saying, Prusa chat led me to believe the review Mark III kit should be out the door for y'all YouTubers before the end of the month. I hope he asked before sending it again, because he just sent the multi-material one without asking. It went to my parents' house, which is fine. But I really don't have much time to review things. I need to schedule them. And I can't just have stuff randomly show up. I mean, I have people waiting on me for reviews already. AFK Gaming, new to 3D printing, 3 weeks in. Thank you for your video on unclogging the nozzle. I only had a minor clog and it was failing to find the issue. Saved a few hours. That's awesome. yeah, look, 3D printing clogs happen all the time. My M300 from Zortrax, which again, they're waiting for a review, has a clog at the moment. It says it can print PLA with a stock extruder. It can't. Me and 3D Printing Nerd both had the issues of it clogging with PLA. And then I changed to other filaments and it's still semi-jammed. So I think there's some PLA jammed in it somewhere. I'm going to have to fix that. So even if you've been 3D printing for years like I have, you still get clogs. You can't avoid them. It's a real pain. Yeah, someone's saying sort of glue it to the wall with double-sided strips. Knowing this place, it's probably drywall, and it's probably going to rip the paint straight off it. Even the crappiest double-sided tape. It's quite heavy, actually. It's, it's not glass, it's plastic. I thought it was like this, but it's quite heavy. So, yeah, I mean that would need a bit of serious mounting to keep it on the wall. Alansky is saying, how come everything goes to your parents' house? Not everything goes to my parents' house, but for a long period of time, my YouTube videos were made at my parents' house because I lived in a one-bedroom granny flat under the flight path in Sydney. So this is kind of new. I'm not used to the idea of having, I guess, a place to work, which is nice. So over the last year, things have changed quite a bit. And yeah, at that time I had stuff sent to my parents because you couldn't have stuff sent to a granny flat. Illegal granny flat, also, by the way, wasn't meant to be there. The floor sloped into the corner like a funhouse. And yeah, I couldn't get stuff sent there because it would just get stolen instantly. So a lot of suppliers have my parents' address listed still because that's when the original Prusa Mark II got sent. It got sent to my parents. So I need to kind of update them. But sometimes I just send stuff without saying anything. JTTV saying, I'm doing a co-op with Fisher Price right now, and I wish I could give you a tour of the model shop. Just the 3D printing section is huge, and also one of the top 10 users of 3D printed resin in the world. Wow, that's pretty nuts. I've heard quite a lot of those large R&D departments of companies have massive, unbelievably huge 3D printing and prototyping areas, like Johnson & Johnson's, for example, apparently are massive in 3D printing, from what I've been told. And just, I can only imagine how much they go through, how many machines, how much consumables. Like, R&D is a tax write-off for most businesses. So you're going to be doing a lot of it because you can pretty much use it to reduce your tax. So yeah, that's pretty nuts. Jumping through the chat. So people are saying the command strips work great. Okay. I'll have to have a look into that. Andrage M, sorry, can't pronounce it properly. When I bought a 3D printer, the manufacturer sent me one part that broke and I had to pay almost as much in tax. The best part is you'd already paid tax for printers as a whole. Yeah, countries love tax. Funny story, like I paid tax, well I didn't pay it, I made Formlabs pay it, but Formlabs got hit with tax on the Form 2 they sent me for review, which was going back to America. Like, there is legal ways to tell them that it's like only in the country for a period of time that it's going back, but it's such a nightmare to get the paperwork in position that they were like, we'll just front the costs. Like, once you have something coming in Australia, if it's above like $1,000 US, sorry, $1,000 Australian, you'll get hit with a GST, which is 10%, and then duty, which will be like 100, 200, and then probably like import, like inspection. A 3D printer that's $1,000 can start costing like 1,500 versus if it was like $900, in which case it just cost $900. You guys are talking about something called linear advance on the Prusa Mark II. To be honest, I don't know much at all about it. I've heard it a couple of times, but I haven't looked into it, so I will have a squiz. Caleb's asking, how do you polish bronze fill? Polishing bronze fill is a nightmare. It's a real pain in the ass. You can't use any sort of electronic polishing tools because it will melt it. So start with a coarse grit paper, go finer and finer and finer till you get to basically emery cloth. And then, use something like Brasso, to then get a bit of shine into it at the end, where you can use steel wool actually, that works quite well. But yeah, it takes a lot of effort to polish bronze fill and brass fill. "3D print a picture frame since you can't put it on the wall for the button." Yeah, just leave it there. I'll just put it like, just the button stuck on the wall with some blue tack or something. Jan is saying, "I have an original Cetus printer, Kickstarter edition, has some problems with banding on the Z-axis. Any suggestions on how to resolve it?" That banding will probably be from the axis wobbling. See if you can stiffen it up somehow. The Cetus is just sheet metal with a aluminium extrusion, so see if you can get something attached, like triangulate it to the frame, to the top of the extrusion, and then that'll stiffen it up heaps and you should remove the banding. Cool. Well, I think I might... people are still coming in. So for those who are coming in now, thank you so much for joining me. Essentially, this arrived, that thing. And yeah, like, this YouTube journey has been really interesting, because originally I started the channel just as a sort of a distraction from my full-time day job, and it's become, over the last 3 years, because yeah, really 2014, you know, when I started, last 3 or so years, it became my full-time job, and I love doing it. I love sharing my experiences with 3D printing and machine tools and CAD with you guys, so it can empower your creativity. So thanks to you, I was able to achieve this. And it does take YouTube a while to send it, so I'm actually glad it showed up, because they don't send you any notifications at all. I told them, I clarified the channel name maybe 4 months ago. No, yeah, it would have been, just after May. So May, like July, August, 3 months ago. So it's taken 3 months to show up. Absolutely ages. And Japman is nailing down the band hammer, smashing it down. Bam. Slicer comparison 2017. I will not be doing a slicer comparison anymore, because it's not an apples to apples comparison anymore. It's just not. Like, there's so many good slicers now. Cura is extremely powerful now. Slicer, the Prusa edition, is insane now. And Simplify 3D still has a few features that only Simplify 3D does. So you can't just be like, oh, it's the best print, because there's so many different features that suit different printers now. And there's no way I could do a fair comparison. Everyone would disagree with my results. That's just how it is. Like, I'd have to test every slicer on different settings on like 5 printers in different filaments. And the first one really, I was using one printer and the sample space wasn't very big. I've learned a lot since then, and there's just no way to do it fair, because especially if I did like 3 of them, people will say, what about, matter control? What about, what's it, Ice SL? There's like, Ice SL Forge, which is, you put code in to control your slicing parameters. There's so many now, it's really impossible to actually cover in a video of any length of time, and it would take me ages, like weeks, and it's just, I can't do it. Someone else may rise to the challenge. By all means, do a slicer comparison. I won't feel like you're stealing the idea in the slightest, but I personally am not going to do a comparison like I did a couple of years ago. Austin saying, do you have a PayPal we can donate directly to, such as YouTube, Patreon, etc.? Oh, so they don't take a cut. Look, PayPal takes a cut as well. Everyone takes a cut. Everyone goes nibble, 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 all along the chain. That's just how it is. So I appreciate the sentiment, but it's just how it is. Everyone will take a cut. PayPal especially, they have the currency transfer rate. So I have to convert it to Australian dollars from US to get into my account, and their currency transfer rate is completely wrong. Every time at the end of the month, I transfer Patreon into Australian dollars, and they take a insultingly huge cut. It's just how it is. Tonepar888 is saying, I've been watching this on my school bus. It's the perfect start to the morning. Well, I hope you have a fantastic day, dude. That sounds awesome. I never had a school bus. I used to have to catch public transport to my school. Okay, so I'm gonna pretty call it, guys. I've had a fantastic time catching up with you. It's just been completely off the cuff, completely random. This is like the worst time to stream because everyone's asleep or it's really early. It's currently 4 p.m. here in Sydney, and it's a lovely day. As you can see outside, that's what the other side of my studio looks like. There you go. You can see all the light. And we're gonna go for a nice walk, and then I've got a lot of mess to tidy up. Austin and X9, thank you so much, guys, for the $5. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. And yeah, like I said, everyone takes a cut, but thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. Do I take Bitcoin? No, I don't. Maybe I should take Bitcoin. I'd love to consider that. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic night or a fantastic morning. And I have loads of content to do. Now to catch up. And yeah, I'll see you very shortly again here on Makers Muse. Catch you later, guys. Bye.